Uncinetto. I'm Christina, and I'm so glad that you're here with me today. If you're new, welcome in. If you're returning, welcome back. No matter how long you've been here, I always appreciate your time. This is my second lesson in relaxation. I did a video previously where I talked about my need to relax and learn how to do that. Learn how to just sit still. Excuse me. I don't do that very well. And I have a friend who is pretty good at it. And we went on a trip for Memorial Day weekend, and there were some plans, but there weren't really a lot of plans. And then her daughter got sick, and so then there were no plans. But it worked out. It did. I did enjoy myself once I calmed the need to do something all the time down. I was like, I have things to do. I have a book. I have my yarn. I have projects. She brought an art project on that trip that she wanted to work on, and I was like, well, just dive in and do that, So I did do things, and I addressed all of that in the other video. I don't want to dwell on it too much on this video, but I do want to just take the time to share with you all what we did. So this trip was pretty special in that it was my friend's birthday. So we left the last day of school for us, because in the States, and even though I don't live in the U.S., I do work at a U.S. school because I work for the military schools overseas. So in the U.S., there's always at least one day after the kids finish for teachers to finish up closing up their room. The district that I worked at before, when I worked in Arkansas, that was the day that we finished up our grades because report cards were sent home. And then there are other districts that, like where my son went to school, because he didn't go to school in the same district that I worked in. He didn't want to eventually have me in class. That was his reasoning, and I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. So he went to school where we lived, and in that district, teachers had all of their training at the end of school. So the district that I work in now and the district that I worked in Arkansas, we came back a week early and had all of our training, our prep stuff that week. Tons of meetings, tons of being talked at, usually. And I don't know what would be better or worse, being talked at after being off all summer and being like, I don't want to be here, or being talked at after you've taught the whole school year and you're like, I don't want to be here. Because it is a lot. They throw a lot of information at us. And I know, anyway, so there are days at the end of the year, all of that to say. And so on that day, this year, my friend had asked me previously, because she had asked me to go with her on the one trip, and then like a week or so after she asked me that, she was like, hey, do you also want to go on this trip with me for my birthday? And I was like, okay, like, sure. Because it was so close together. I was like, I don't know. But it was fine. It was just, dealing with laundry and my cat, and normally the weekends are times that I do all of my chores in my house. So I was like, 2 weekends almost back to back of not doing things. It's going to be a lot to catch up on. But see, again, that's where that relax comes in. So I was like, just stop it. You'll get to it when you get to it. So I was like, okay, yes. So anyway, we went. It was actually really close. So the other one that we went to was farther away. It was a little over 2 hours away. This one was just over an hour. And we went near a town called Cefalu. The place that we stayed at was amazing. I've never been to a place like that in my life. And I was so grateful that she invited us along because it was literally full service. I've never been at a place where, so I don't know if this is the same in all countries, but the ones that I've been to, you know, like if you're in a hotel, they have like the little arched trolley things, or sometimes they don't have an arch. Sometimes it's just like almost like a dolly, but you can put your luggage on it and you can wheel. I went to get one and I wasn't yelled at, but I was admonished sternly that I was not to touch that. That was their job. And I was like, okay, I'm sorry. I'm not used to like people doing stuff for me. So I mean, from like the time we got there until the time we left, I mean, it was, they take care of you. If you need something for your room, you need another towel, you need this, you need that, you just ask somebody and they get it for you. You don't get up. And I was like, oh. It's very interesting. So we were there for several days. I would have to count. But one of the days, so they did have excursions that you could do. You could go on a boat tour, you could go here, you could go there. But I didn't really want to do a lot of that, mainly because I was there to spend time with my friend for her birthday. So I was just kind of following along. If she wanted to go do it, I'd be like, yeah, sure, let's go do it. She didn't want to go do it, no big deal. Like I was trying to, this was the point where she started calling me her relaxation pupil. Like I need to learn, and I fully admit that. So hopefully at this point pictures are popping up. But we did go because her husband came after he finished work for the week, because we finished on a Thursday, so we went up. He came on that Friday after he got finished with work. So we that next day, that Saturday, she had done some research, and we went into Cefalu. So we had to get on a bus, and there was a morning excursion and an afternoon excursion. And basically the bus just drops you off and you just walk around the town. So that's what we did. I did a little bit of like souvenir shopping. But it was an amazing town. They have some gorgeous views. Oh my goodness. I mean, it truly was breathtaking in many, many places of the town. And we were only there for like 3-ish hours. And I had an amazing, so right there by the Duomo, the Duomo is usually like the biggest piazza, like where the biggest church is in the town. So like the town that I live in has multiple piazzas, but there's only one Duomo. That's the main church, the biggest one. Like the Saints Church, typically. Not always, but it's typically how it works, at least how I've seen it. So in the Duomo, in the big square in town, you had the church, which I could not go inside. There were a lot of steps. I could have gotten up the steps just fine. It would have been getting down the steps that would have been the problem. Because I can go up the stairs fine, but I have to go downstairs one at a time, and these were pretty high steps. There were a lot of them. So they chose not to go in. But anyway, there was a cafe right there, or bar, um, and I had an amazing affogato. And an affogato is essentially espresso in ice cream. Sometimes I put whipped cream and a little biscotti cookie on the top. Biscotti is a cookie, but different terms. But it's like a wafer thin. It's really, really thin. Oh my God, it was so good. And then my daughter had ice cream. She didn't have espresso in it, but she had caramel and banana ice cream. So two different flavors of ice cream put together. And I was like, oh my God, let me taste that. That has to taste like a banana split. And did. It tasted just like a banana split. And she was like, what's a banana split? And I was like, how have I been remiss in your childhood experiences? You've never had a banana split. Oh my God, like parent fail. So when we got home, when we went to the store, we bought all the things for banana split. She had the banana split. She did not like the banana split. But it's okay. She tried it and she knows that she doesn't care for it. But at least she's had one. Um, so, but the ice cream was phenomenal, right? I don't know, maybe it wasn't real banana flavor, but it was amazing. That combination was absolutely fantastic together. But that's a flavor of a banana versus the texture of a real banana. So, who knows? But we did some walking around the town. We saw amazing pictures. I was so excited. I found some stairs that looked like they led to nowhere. And I've mentioned this before on the channel that I have this thing with stairs that lead to nowhere. So in Arkansas, in one of the schools that I used to work at, Central High School, the neighborhoods around there, some of the houses have been torn down. And if you drive through them, you just have these stairs that look like they lead to a house, but they don't lead to anywhere. And then there's another school that I worked at that no longer exists. A lot of the schools that I worked at in that school district no longer exist. All but one of them, actually, which is kind of crazy. They've all been like restructured in some way. Uh, so the other one that I worked at that had stairs that led to nowhere was McClellan High School, because there used to be buildings in one section of the school, and then there were no longer buildings there, but the stairs were still there, and they were covered in grass and moss and all this stuff because no one had to mow over them. I would think that someone would need to mow over them, because if you're ever walking in that area, you don't know that there are stairs there, you might want to clean it. And maybe they did at some point, and then it grew over and they never went back to it. I don't know. But I like taking pictures of those. But I found this set of stairs that looked like it led to nowhere, and I was like, oh my God, let's go check that out. Because my friend and her daughter were in a clothing store. I was trying to say store and shop. And they were getting some dresses, and none of the dresses were going to fit me. None of the dresses were going to fit my daughter. They either had little bitty baby dresses or skinny people dresses. I'm not a skinny person, and the material that I wear needs to be stretchy. It has to be stretchy. I can't wear just straight cotton fabric, because my arms swell and then they go down, and then they swell and then they go down. It has to do with like the lymph nodes under my arms, with all the scar tissue. Things just, they don't flow the way they're supposed to. So sometimes my arms will go down and they'll be normal, and then sometimes they'll get big. Yes, whatever. But I have to have clothes that will expand. Because if I have to put them on and my arms are big or whatever, I don't want to have two different wardrobes. So I just keep one wardrobe. So my daughter was upset that there was nothing that was going to fit her in that shop. And I was like, all right, well, let's just, instead of huffing and puffing, let's just like walk out of the store. We'll go do something else. And we were walking, and I just happened to look to my right, and there were these stairs, and it looked like they went nowhere. And I was like, oh, let's see if we can go up to the, like, get a picture of the stairs. But like, there was ocean. I could see over the wall. There was ocean. So we walked up to the stairs, and my daughter was going up the stairs, and turns out, like, if you turn the corner, that's the back of somebody's house. It wasn't like their yard or anything, but these stairs led up to the back. Like, I was like, this is crazy, but it was so cool, because they could just open their window and there's the ocean. Beautiful. I could hear somebody fighting in another house, but it was fine. Um, and we have, I don't know if you'll see it in one of the pictures, we have this little purple mouse that we take with us, and that is our Bubba mouse. So my son, who is not here with us in Sicily, he is back in the States in college, by his own choice. We were getting our passport photos to do all the travel and all the things, and we were at a Walgreens. I think I've told this story before, but they have all the little TY little stuffed animals, and my daughter and my son were looking at them, and I don't remember who brought it to me. I don't remember if my daughter brought it to me or if my son brought it to me. I think it was my daughter, because I opened it and it said my son's name. Not only did it say my son's name, it said his birthday. Because all of the little TYs, if you get them, you open them, it has the name and it has their birthday. And I was like, that's it, we're buying it. This is our Bubba Mouse. So anywhere we go on vacation, any trip that we go on, Bubba Mouse comes with us, and we try to take a picture, and I send it to my son and say, Bubba Mouse is in such and such with us, or Bubba Mouse is in such and such. So we do that. So I did take a picture of Bubba Mouse on the wall, which I thought was kind of cute. And then after our excursion was over, we got back on the bus, and we went back to our accommodations, to our hotel. And basically, for the rest of the time we were there, we were either at the pool or at the beach, or we went to the beach in the morning and then the pool in the afternoon. We ate and we relaxed. I actually, there was a little boutique store, and we went down there. Again, clothes that were not going to fit me. I found this really beautiful dress, and I really wanted to get it, but it wasn't stretchy enough to fit me, so that was unfortunate. And it wasn't like my stomach area or anything. It was like it tied around the neck, but it like was really, really, like the strings that went around your neck were really, really short. And at first I thought, oh, well, maybe it's supposed to be like it ties to make a strap on the top. No, because there wasn't a string in the back, and there wasn't a loop in the back of the dress. So I don't know, but it was so beautiful. It was the blue and turquoise paisley. Oh my goodness. But anyway, my friend found a book on the Florios of Sicily. So on, I think, Disney Plus, there's a show that's based off of the book called The show is called The Lions of Sicily. And I'd started watching it before I knew that it was a book. And then once I realized it was a book, I stopped watching the show, and I was trying to find the book at the base library, and it's been on hold. Well, before we went on this trip, I put it on, I had put my name on the list. While we were on the trip, I got the notification that the book was ready for me to pick up. But I bought the book at the bookstore, at the boutique store at where we were staying. And my friend and I, she had started reading it before me. Um, but I am a pretty fast reader. If I like the book, if I don't like the book, I might read it a little bit and then I'm going to put it down. And I'm going to wait and pick it back up and then put it down. um, but so we finished the book at about the same time. Um, and it's a really interesting story. Some of it is like historical fiction, but a lot of it is based in fact. So the Florios were a very prominent family for a long time in the Palermo region of Sicily. Um, and it's an amazing story. It's an amazing story. I was very glad that I was able um, to read it and to learn that information. And now I have another book I can put on my bookshelf, and I will probably read that book again. I try not to buy books unless I know I'm going to read them more than once, and I would definitely read that book more than once. Um, so I did crochet a little bit while I was on the trip too. I had my cardigan here. I crocheted in the car on the way there and on the way back, and a little bit while we were there. I didn't want to bring it near the pool too much just because of the chlorine. I definitely didn't want to bring it to the beach. So in the evenings, when I went back to my room, I would crochet, or like in the mornings when I was waiting on my daughter to wake up before we went to breakfast, because my body, until just recently, I've still been getting up at 5 a.m. like I would for work. I don't always get out of bed, but I've been waking up at 5 a.m. Just recently, I've started waking up at 6 or a little after. So my body is slowly adjusting to being off work. But I just wanted to share that with you because it was an amazing trip. I truly had a great time. And I am trying to find moments. Sorry, I thought I was going to sneeze. I am trying to find moments where I can just sit. It is hard right now because with getting ready to go to the States, there's so much that I need to do because I'm not going to be here. So I need to make sure that my cat is taken care of. I need to make sure that my mail is taken care of. I need to make sure that all of my trash is out of my house before I leave, so that there's not anything sitting and stewing for a month. I need to pack, of course, and then I want to try and make sure, because I'm leaving on a Monday, so Sunday is usually when I do my laundry, so I'm thinking that I'll be good in that department and that we'll only have whatever we wear on Sunday that'll be in the hamper when I get back. But I'm trying to make sure that like any food that's going to expire, we use that, and try to pare down on what we have food wise, so that we just don't have anything that's gonna smell when we get back, because we're gonna be gone a long time. And last summer there were fires here because it got so hot. The electricity went out multiple times because the grid just couldn't handle everyone using their air conditioners because it was so hot. And it's recently gotten up to almost 100 degrees here where I live, which is pretty warm because I'm so much higher than where base is. So anyway, that's nothing about the trip, but it is about the relaxation. So I am trying. I am working on it, but it is a work in progress for me. Um, because I am still, like, even in the summer, I'm working summer school. I'm still teaching, right? Um, it's high school kids and it's online, but I'm still teaching. I still have my daughter, and activities that she wants to do. I still have all the stuff around the house, and now it's 3 meals a day because we're home, so it's not just I have dinner to worry about and breakfast, on the go because we're on our way to school. It's breakfast, lunch, dinner, breakfast, and so then that comes with the food, the dishes, the all those things. So it just changes, right? But I am really trying to find moments where I can sit down and relax. Um, so I hope that you have enjoyed, the pictures and my, um, second part of lessons in relaxation. I don't know if that's what the video is going to be called or not. I haven't gotten that far. But please be on the lookout, in the beginning of July. So my podiversary is coming up, next week. When you're seeing this, it's probably going to be, I'm posting this the 21st of June, 2024. My podiversary will be June 29th, 2024. So the following week. And then the week after that, I will start over with my, monthly hidden giveaways. So that first week in July, please be on the lookout for, um, a hidden giveaway. It will probably be a digital prize of some sort, but, it will be something that um, you can win if you watch the videos because it will be hidden. Um, yeah, so I'm hoping I can have some content while I'm gone, and I'm gonna let you guys go. Let me know what you think of the pictures, and what you, think about my attempts at relaxation. All right. So as always, be well, be safe, and be the change you wish to see in the world, everyone. Ciao bella!